was born in Holland. We came here in 1959. When I was in Dampier, I was the commodore of the sailing club. I had an e-boat, which was a 22-foot flush deck sailboat. I was changing a wheel on my yacht trailer and it exploded on me, and I got hit by part of the rim on my forehead. That's 6 years ago now.
I knew that sailing had always been a big part of his life, so we worked on the opportunity of looking at remote controlled yacht clubs. So he was very happy to do that. So then I started making contact with about 5 different remote controlled yacht clubs that were around Melbourne, and we identified that the Lilydale Yacht Club was the best option for Paul.
Club does cater for all types, sizes. Some just like looking at their little boats and imagining they're off on the high seas or something similar. That's fine. We're all united in the love of sailing boats.
Well, Paul came down to the Lilydale Lake. He wanted a boat to sail, and he had one of my boats, which he thoroughly enjoys sailing.
I was able to look at his initial person-centred plans as to this was also something he'd identified, and then getting in contact with family in Western Australia and getting okay to spend that sort of money on the yachts and proceed, because I didn't want to disappoint Paul. If we came down, he realised it was something he wanted to do, and then there wasn't the money to support this activity.
Eventually he did decide he wanted to buy my boat and use it for himself, where Paul had to buy a new transmitter for it, radio equipment, which I set up in the boat ready for him. So when he came down the next Tuesday, everything was ready for him, and away he went sailing it.
They built me a yacht. It made me feel welcome.
Every time Paul comes down there, some of us, or myself and other people, rig the boat up ready for him, make sure it's in the water, make sure it's working properly, and he thoroughly enjoys doing that.
Initially, Paul, we would drop him at the car park entrance and he would wait for us while we parked the car. 2 weeks ago I came down with him and I had parked the car, came back and I couldn't find him, and he was already almost down at the wharf by that stage. He was really keen to get down.
Yeah, it's a racer. It goes like a bullet. Yeah, it's a good yacht.
All it'd bring to our club a bit of purpose for a few members, especially on the Tuesday group, which is pretty informal, and they just hang round and chat and talk.
Well, some years ago, when the club first started, I was in a state of depression, chronic depression. We were walking, my wife and myself were walking around the Lilydale Lake, and there was a couple of chaps there sailing their boats. And I went ahead and chat to Andy, actually, our Commodore at the time he was. Asked if I'd like to come and have a bit of a sail. He loaned me one of his boats to sail. And from there I was hooked. And of course Andy and the club helped me get out of that big black hole.
To be able to put in and help someone around, it gives them a good feeling.
I'd like to pass on that help to other people, which I believe I am doing for Paul himself, to help him out as well.
I enjoyed the friendship with the other guys from the Lilydale Model Yacht Club.
Well, if Paul did come down on a Saturday or Tuesday, I don't know if he needs to have a carer with him. Even if he just came down in a taxi with his boat in the taxi, and when he's ready to go home, we can always de-rig the boat for him and help him into the taxi with it.
It's just wonderful to see that this is actually coming from within the club now, that they're actually looking at ways of expanding what they do into the community, and it's a very genuine desire to do that.
One thing I'd say is that there is absolutely no reason that people with disabilities shouldn't be in a club, whether it's a club like ours or an art society or a Tiddlywinks club. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, sailing makes me feel free. Yeah, my experience has been superb.